Okay. So it looks like we got 95% of what we needed to in the first 3 days that I wanted to or thought I was going to. Yesterday was a little bit of a challenge. We ran into some issues with Steam. We ran into issues with compiling, and we ran into issues with basically everything related to the code base. But after about 7 hours of fixing that, all of us have got the project working, can compile it, and we have multiplayer. So there's that, and it's on a Steam app ID. So now we can actually distribute it. I think the intention, obviously this might change with next week, but the intention is to set it up as a demo so that anybody can just get it from Steam and play the demo at the release of it. I think that's one of the cooler perks about doing a longer jam is you have time to kind of do polish and distribution type stuff that you normally wouldn't have in a jam. So super excited about that. But past that, let's go ahead and get started. We're going to be working on the actual character today. I did a little bit of this yesterday at the beginning of my stream, and we really just got to get that character design finished and done. Before I do that, I'll kind of showcase where we're at and what we've got, and then we'll get into doing the character stuff. So right now, it's still kind of bare bones. Main menu, this is all going to change. But this is our bare bones kind of setup. If you want to host a game, you go create. If you want to find a game, you go find game, and any games that exist will be there. We'll have settings and everything else, and that's pretty much it. You can play solo. Hopefully we'll get that working today. That's the intention, is so when Ninja wakes up, he's going to go ahead and he's going to start working on the logic for the lobby. Because when you go to create game, it creates your lobby. We'll have a ready up that you can come over here. You talk to the little ready up station. If you're by yourself, then you just ready up by yourself. If you're not by yourself, then you would ready up, and then everybody's got to ready up before it goes, starts a timer, and then it goes into the level. The level set up right now, it's kind of generic and base. But the point is we're going to have the starting location. We'll have the end location. And so ideally we'll have a cutscene. It'll be up here in the clouds or something like that. And you'll see the drop pod or whatever kind of like crash down. As it's crashing down, you'll see some cargo stuff fall off. And that's because that's setting the stage. We're telling the player that if you can search around, you'll find some other stuff, and then it'll basically go there, and then your job is to fly down. You'll start here. I'm thinking I got to get the camera angle right, but I'm thinking this is kind of what the camera angle is going to look like as you're traversing. So you'll follow the path, and this is kind of the camera angle that you'll have. The player will be in the center part. We did do the spawners. And we actually set up so we actually set up the spawning system and the NPC mass control system. So this is our spawner, and basically the spawner will keep spawning in waves of monsters based off of the identity that they have. And if I kill them, I can't remember what the button is to kill them. But either way, if I kill him, did we make it 0? No, we didn't. Okay. Anyways, if I kill him, then more spawn from there. So essentially, we'll set these spawners up throughout there. I have to do AI logic, but once that's all good to go, then we'll be good to go. And we're using NPC Director. This is so we can get lots and lots and lots of stuff in the world. Did I lose my gizmo? I always hate when I lose my gizmo. So anyways, we got that done. And then Chuck has been working on a turret. And so this auto turret's what's going to one of the things that you can use to upgrade on your system. So we have the auto turret. It tracks you. It needs to do some tweening. And it also rotates too fast. We need to make sure that that's it's got to have a rate. We can work on that, but it'll continue firing until you get out of there or until it runs out of ammo. I don't know if there's another version over here. Okay, no, he was just making something cool. Okay, so that's what we've got so far. As for this, the cargo will go through and it has stop points. So as you go through, these stop points here slow this cargo down. So you'll have your normal excuse me, you'll have your normal level. Go on, Grave. You'll have your normal level as it's traversing and going from point A to point B. I am well, thanks for asking, by the way. And so all of your upgrades and everything else will be done on this. I have one of the guys is working on the actual upgrade system. So what happens is when you hit this, basically this whole thing will slow down, and that'll allow you to get up there and spend your resources to upgrade all the things you need to upgrade. And then when they're done upgrading, you can go down. Maybe there's some exploration stuff, but this is basically to act as a breather. You get 40 seconds to kind of get your mind together, make sure you got a good plan and your team are kind of got a good idea to replenish, do whatever you need to do, and then it's back at it. So then once that 40 seconds is done, this will speed back up into its normal speed and then zoom over to its next stop point. And these are intended to be checkpoints. Now, right now, I've got a bunch of them, and that was so for testing purposes. But it will, you can kind of see the speed. It goes a lot faster now. And you're basically going to have to run the entire time to keep up with it. And so it's going to go, we'll have to play with the speed a little bit. But the point is you'll be defending off enemies, boop, 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 blowing them up while they're coming at you. And then trying to keep this from getting attacked or damaged. And then once that's safe, then you can move on. So that's basically the concept. You'll do that for the 10 minutes. You'll save it from different types of enemies. And maybe we might have an obstacle or something that blocks you or stops you. So we'll see. We've talked about a ramming game mode too. So if this all goes well and is fast and no issues, then we'll create different game modes too. Again, it's all multiplayer, so there's going to be lots of balance issues and problems, and I'm sure we're going to have lots of issues with bugs and shit. So we'll see what goes down. I didn't test YouTube. So if somebody's talking on YouTube, I will have no clue. Okay, so it looks like everything's working there, so that's good. So all that's working. Two teams against each other to see who gets a cargo to the first and finish. Perhaps tower defense idea of sending monsters to the enemy lane. That's an interesting one. I like that too. That's a cool idea. That's a really cool idea. Okay, so now I've showcased the game. Everybody's seen it. It's all good. It is on, again, we have it on Steam. So we'll update it through. I'm trying to see if we can get the demo thing set up to where I can just do it automatically, just does updates and everything else, but we'll see. But now to the point. We got to make this little character. My intention and the what do you want to call them? The look and feel that I'm going for is something like this. This is a little too realistic and serious for me, but again, I'm using this to reference some kind of structure. This is just another more like OP version type thing. I am going to have some drones like this that can fly around for healing. This is what I'm thinking more for the mechs that are the defensive ones that you have to fight. And then I was just looking at these things for structure and kind of getting a good idea. So these are the reference materials as I'm going along that I'm using to kind of structure out how I want all this to look. Here we go. Hey, what's up, Massive? Yeah, that's kind of the intention. We are going for cute. This is going to be a cute robot. So you'll have the top, and the top can pivot, and then you'll have your bottom rotation bit. I'm making. So one of the problems that I have, I wouldn't call it a problem, but it does make things more complex. I could easily. So do you still reside in Japan or Hawaii? No, I don't reside in any of those. It's been a long time. I left Japan already. I'm back in the States. I'm in Georgia, actually. So one of the problems that I have is yeah, thanks. Is I like to make things too realistic. So because of that, I have to make ball joints and pivot joints. Now the nice part is that I can kind of get away with the things that I want to get away with by doing that, as long as I make things just work. It has to logically work for me, is what I'm saying. So I'm just blocking in what that might look like and how that would go through. Like, for example, if I grab these two, I combine them, and I rotate this pivot, I don't get a lot of pivot from this socket type, right? Because of how it's set up. So his arms could never do this motion, which is fine. I don't necessarily need him to. But it's something I'm always thinking of. This is kind of like a good way to have this rotation here. So basically, you know, maybe I don't ever have to do that. I could, in theory, do something like this where he gets a little bit of swing and sway, but the reality is that I'm probably not. So this will make for a very simple rig when it comes to doing things. But again, you're gonna have a very limited like scope. So as I'm walking around, this is my character, you know, and I am gonna do normal leg structure. So I was thinking about that too. I need to create pivot points for this. So a couple different joints that I'm gonna have to set up logistically so it all works and makes sense, or at least as much as it can art wise, because that's my problem is that it's got to make sense, right? If it doesn't make sense, then it feels weird to me, even though it is a game jam and nobody gives a crap whether or not this mechanically functions in the proper way or not. Like, nobody cares, but I care. Okay. It's to learn a lot in a period of time, and since you have done this for years and you have experience, like, because it works for you. Yeah. I mean, it's just what I like. But yeah. What I do like about the Game Jam is I'm working with people I haven't worked with before. This is pretty much a 100% new team for me, which is awesome because I'm getting to learn them all of them and get to meet them for the first time. So this has been kind of fun. I've actually had a lot of fun, so good all around. And maybe we'll bring him to the main project. Who knows? Yeah. Okay. And something I'm going to do different that I don't normally do is normally I'd close all these up and make them whatever. But because I want these things to explode, I'm going to leave them all hard points. So I am going to actually make like anything that can explode will be hard pointed out. So that way I can easily make a part of it or a version of it and then have that be part of the particles that, you know, fly around. And then you pick that up after the fact. Yeah. So okay, so just trying to think of what I want this to look like. Let's see. I am going to IK the legs. I mean, I don't technically have to IK the leg. I don't think I want to do IKs for anything. It could make it easier because then I don't have to like counter key and deal with all that crap, but I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Yeah. Okay, so what if this whole thing can go up and down? Because really that's what this is. This just should go like that. And maybe this is the thing that rotates. I think I was thinking about this all wrong. So what if this goes here? And then this is my socket. Because then that, well, no, I still run into the issue. Well, maybe not. I have some good momentum and movement. I just have to restrict it while I'm animating so it's not too much. Yeah, I think we get rid of this. Let's put this here. Then I can put this joint. This is my pivot section. And then this can kind of go here. Which is fine. Yeah, right? He can like kind of move up his hand sideways. Like maybe that's it. Maybe that's the cutest he can go. He's like, I guess. Okay, whatever. Don't judge me, okay? I'm learning. I'm not really learning, but this is fun to me. Okay, so I like this. I think that makes sense and looks okay. Yeah, I think if I frame that right, that'll be okay too. Oh, man. Got like instant like jitter. There we go. And then I think, so this one is pretty easy. I don't want this to pivot at all. I just want this to move forward. Now I do. So when I'm looking at this, I'm thinking like, we just do a cut and something like this. Yeah. So this, and then we'll have the gear for the rotation part somewhere here. Yeah, because you got to have, basically this has got to be here. We can kind of reduce the size a little bit, but that's basically how that goes. And that's got to allow for the rotation part. Because this is basically what is added to the bottom part of the leg, or this part, right? So if I come in here and I get rid of this, and I pull this down, this is what's connected to that. And so then we have our pivot joint there. And we can make this look all pretty on the inside, but the point is that's how this is connected. These two go together. And so as I rotate, so stupid. Modify freeze transformation. So as I rotate, this would rotate here. I need to set the pivot point. Let's do that real quick. That way I can prove my point of concept here. So basically this would rotate like that. And so this means this back part needs to change, I think, because I need to accommodate for that. And we can kind of bring this lip up a little bit. So basically now we have the ability to rotate. And then technically, now that can rotate. And so that's what that leg would look like as it rotated. Nice. 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 Okay. So I'm actually really happy with that. Now, the only problem is, again, what if I needed to side rotate this for whatever reason? That's the part that I need to kind of make sure is okay. So I need to logic my way through that crap. But we'll do that next. Okay, so we've got a good structure here. I like how that looks. We'll do a similar thing for the arm up there. Oh, damn, dog, you scared the Stop carrying me, dog. We'll do the same thing for up here. I want to, while I'm thinking about it now, I'm just going to do this. What's the easiest way to get rid of this? Damn, there's not. Okay, cool. Well, then I'll do it the hard way. I think there's a way to select the edge loop. I just can't remember. Okay, so the reason why we're doing this is because I need to verify. Okay, perfect. We're gonna cut this and separate it. And then I'm gonna center pivot. Okay, there it is. Cool, perfect. Perfect, that's what I'm talking about. Then we're gonna grab this. Yep. It's gonna go all the way back. And then we're gonna do that. Okay, so now we have an internal. And then this is the screen portion. So then we can take this, put this at 0. And so that way I can have two different materials on this. Let's just go to Hyper Shader and make that now. So I'm going to add a new... I hate how Hyper Shader is all like cattywampus. I kind of want to just put it here. Like have it be a whole nother thing on the side. But the problem with that is even if I didn't know I could do that. Yo, this is my new layout. Absolutely love it. I didn't know I could do that. Yeah, because I always get annoyed by Hypershade because I'm like sitting here trying to figure out how to make this all fit and crap. Because it's horrible. Okay. Well then cool. That means I might actually have some textures now from now on in my Maya projects. Okay, whatever. Don't judge me, okay? Don't judge me. Let's do... I think standard surface is what we're supposed to do. We're going to call this Matt _ character base. That's what we're going to call it. Let's do a kind of a tannish teal color. Maybe more red. Yeah, I think that's good. So then we can grab the different parts. And I can assign that. And then let's create another one. And this is going to be called Matte Glass. Okay, color, we'll make it like a blue. But let's go darker with a little bit of this. Make it more blue there. Perfect. Okay, cool. There we go. Really have that look that we were thinking about. Yep, that's what I'm looking for. Okay. So the rest of this will have to be this color, this peach color, because again, we're going to put it all together, which is fine. But at least we can kind of make it stand out a little bit. And then I just do that. Now I got Hypershade gone. Heck yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That's awesome. New workflow unlocked. Okay, so we're gonna have. What did I think about? F it. Let's just do this. Rotate that. There we go. Okay, so this is our neck joint. This is where the neck gets attached. But we're going to run into the same problem that we were talking about before, where the neck needs to be able to rotate. So what I'm thinking is I make a ball and a receiver. Because otherwise, because I just want it to be able to rotate here and then also look up, right? This is only because I'm trying to design it for future possible implementation. So make the arm a little bit bigger. I'm live, by the way. What's up? Hold on one second. Sorry about that. Had a quick intermission. Quick little break. Woo! We're back. Okay. What I had? There we go. Okay. So we want to make this a little bit beefier. Not much, just a little bit. Yeah, I think that's fine. And I do want to make it beefier here. So maybe push this a little bit here. Yeah, there we go. That's a lot beefier. Okay, cool. I'm fine with it. So like I said, what I would see as the player character, that's kind of what I'm worried about is my top-down view is going to be a little bit different. Easy, how's it going? Yeah, I love them too. I like the idea of it. It's going well. We're getting there. Logic stuff, you know. I'm working on character right now. Okay, so what if that's my biggest concern. That's my biggest concern. So let's do a save. Let's grab all of this. And then let's duplicate this over to the other side. We need to just see how readable this is. So let's go export selection. Oh crap, I totally forgot my workspace is different. We're using, this is Maya. Wonder if I can make a new workspace. I might have to do that. Okay, so content. Where's my meshes at? Why can't I see meshes? I don't have a meshes folder? No, there's no way. I have a meshes folder. Okay, well, whatever. We're in... Oh, no, I'm in a... What? That's not the game. That's why I was like, what? I have a... There we go. Meshes, engine, and then we already have one. So let's just save over that. I forgot. I need to turn off their thing. Yeah, I need to turn off their thing. Because it's saved as different cubes, like so crazy. What is that called? Let me save it as something different so that way it comes back up. We'll call this player 00. There we go. And then it'll come up with the menu. This is called, what is this called again? Yeah, because I don't want to import any of the materials. I don't want to do any of the textures. Do not search. I do not want to do any animations. Skeletal mesh is not it. We're doing static. So basically I need to combine everything. Combine static meshes. Okay, this is borked up, but it's working, so that's all that matters. Okay, so let me go to 1. This is what our player is gonna see. And if we zoom out, like we were talking about top down, this is what the player character is going to look like. And I think that's an important thing to keep in mind. So if we go to blueprints, character, and player character, let me I'd have to make a damn skeletal mesh. I don't want to do that right now. Fuck it. Maybe that's what we do. I don't need the anim BP, and I don't need this technically. So let's just do that for the sake of having it real quick. Again, I need to test this and see what it looks like, so that's why we're doing this. We're gonna create a skeleton real quick. Grab the okay, gotta grab all these with that, and then switch this to rigging. We'll go skin, and we'll bind the skin. Cool. So now we have a skeleton. Grab all of this with all of this. File export selection. We're gonna just call this player 001. And we're probably gonna have to call it 2 because of how this crappy upload system works. Textures are gone, materials are gone, animations I don't care about, skeletal mesh it. I'm gonna get rid of import animation, skeletal meshes, we're good, no issues, so we'll do import. So what I should have, which is kind of interesting, it's not using an animation class right now, and it's still working. But whatever. I can learn to type. There we go. So there's our skeletal player. Using X forward. There we go. And I think it's interesting to note how big this is. That should not be that big, but I don't know. We'll figure it out. Okay. So let's say it should be something like that. That's kind of how it should be. So 0.75 for some reason. Okay, so if I do this and I bring this in here, this is what the player would see. And that's why I'm doing this, is so that way we can kind of make sure we know what it's going to look like. Right? So then we're going to grab this spring arm. And then we're going to rotate it. And then I can bring it forward more. See, that's really not enough. Because as I'm running around, this is what you're seeing, you know? Like that's your camera right there. I'm not a fan of that. I'll hit play. Because this is basically what you'll see. Right? Yep, that's basically what you'll see. Which isn't much. Now, if you go forward and you walk forward, then you'll see the forward part of this, which is kind of cute. But this is what you're going to be staring at the entire time. And if I zoomed out a little bit, then this is what it looks like. So I don't know. We'll have to see. This might be the play for third person that we end up making. I have no clue. I guess that's a decision for next week. Because we just need to make the robot. Damn. It is okay, though. It is what it is. Definitely not a fan of it. Damn. Yeah, I'm not... Do we do third person? Is that what we do? Because this is what this would look like. Which I guess isn't super bad, but it's not great either. This is your robot. I mean, I guess it's not too bad. Could be worse. Oh man, I think it would be cool. I want to actually try to see if we could do this, where I could make the top offset from the bottom, so that way the legs could be walking in whatever direction, but your camera is off. Oh my god, if we can do that, yo, I'm excited to see what that looks like. That would be very cool. I think that's what I'm gonna do, so that way you can be walking whatever direction you want, and then you're, I don't know, we'll see. I have to change that game mode now, though. So if I go to engine, default game mode, and then I change the player controller, BP player controller, and then the player state, I don't think I care. Default pawn class is that. Spectator pawn is that. Game session, I don't care. Game state, I don't care. Yeah, I think that's all fine. So we do that. And then default game. So that loads everything that it should. I hit play. Now I have the game controller. Okay, good. Good. Like, hi. And then we'll do the same thing for the enemies. So we go to AI, character base. Yep. Viewport, skeletal mesh. Let's do player. That way it just looks the right way. 90. Again, I don't know why it has to reduce it. I didn't think I made it that big. Because if I look at it here, this is a 100 by 200. I don't know. Maybe I'm like cracked out. Okay. And what we can do. So viewport. I want to just do this to proof of concept. So we're gonna add a directional light. No, let's add a receiver light. Cool. So then we're gonna put it here. Put it on the left side. The angle is gonna be what, 45 with the gate of 50, and then intensity is gonna be high. We're gonna do this. We're gonna block that out. Attenuation is 1000. Source height, let's do 10 by 10, like it's a shoulder mount one. Save, and then we'll make this, because they're hostile, we'll make them red, and then we'll put this right here in the front. So if I take this and I put him here, look at that. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, no, get off me. No, leave me alone. He's faster than I am. And because I want to use Mega Lights, we make sure it's Mega Light enabled, which it is. So let's check this out. I'm excited. This will be cool. Let's say we grab this. Get it. Let's go half the intensity. Oh man. What do we do? Candelabra. I think candelabras is what I need. Yeah, because I think that's more what I'm used to. So let's do 50. Yeah, might even go a little bit less. But if I hit play, now I got all these baddies coming for me. Like, oh no, get off me. Get off me. Yeah, nice. Nice. Cool. I think, what am I getting? 70? So if I play in, I'm at 100 here. With all these bad boys coming at me, I'm at a 70. Not bad. We got to make them not crowd like that. But it's cool though. I like it. So if we set this to be attenuation radius, maybe 500. Yeah, it's a little bit more realistic. We can still boost up the intensity, maybe 100. And then let's see. It's pretty nice. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. And then because of the way that this is set up, I should have 2 materials on this bad boy. And I do. So what I can do is I can cheat this out. Well, we still have other things to do, so I don't want to like sit in editor for too long, but let's grab all of these that exist and let's delete them because I need to set up Homeboy's thing, right? And so if we can set up Homeboy's thing, then we'll be good to go. Let's go here. Did he put in our props? He did. Okay, cool. So we have props and then we have the enemy spawner. So this is our enemy spawner. If I grab this, I need to go to details panel. So spawn rate, let's say every 3 seconds, max totals or max spawn total, and then max spawn alive allowed. Let's say 5 is the number that's max allowed. Then we get an enemy to choose. We're going to choose AI base, I think is what I want. If I hit play, come over here. It's not spawning. It's not spawning enemies. Did I choose the wrong class? Character AI base. Yeah, right there. What did I mess up? Okay, let's look at some code. Holy spaghetti. Okay. This is kill enemy, print string, which one was killed, and then I destroy the actor. Why am I getting... That's something to do, I guess. Oh my god. Okay, so let's clean this up a little bit. We have our initial delay. I'm printing some information. I don't really know why, but I am. Oh, this is my initial delay. Okay. I see what he's doing. So I'm printing that. Okay, so I'm printing this string as my initial delay. I don't think he has this instance editable. Okay, cool. So it's not instance editable, but I had to fix that. So now it is. We need to move this forward so we can have this be nice and clean. So this is our begin play. Now from here we go to branch hell. What is this delay? Oh, spawn rate delay. Okay. And then what it goes off of here? I don't know. Okay. Then you have another branch up here. Another branch to another thing. To another thing. To another thing. Okay. This is his condition. This is his condition. I don't... Okay, so this is a I failed. This is an I failed. Okay, so that's an I failed. I failed. I don't know what kill enemy is, but it's there. And this is all part of the true. So he's spawning the actor. He's choosing the active spawn, and then we are executing the pin. Do we have a loop here? Oh my god, we have a loop. Okay. Okay. I think that's kind of... This is bad logic. You should have an event that you call. So, I'm not here to fix all this crap. I'm here, I guess, to fix this crap. Okay. And then this is what happens when it's false. This is my checker or my condition. This is our branch. This is where we're going. Yeah, there. Oh my god. Okay. 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 This is Zimish. Okay. So we need to, like, there's a lot of cleanup that we can do for this, because again, I shouldn't go all the way back to this pen and then repeat. What we should be doing is creating a custom event. So let's say the custom event is called spawn something. Trying to think of a generic name. So spawn actor. Okay, so now we have this custom event. We can do spawn actor. Maybe spawn actor wasn't necessarily the best name, I guess. Crap. Okay. But basically what we're doing is we have this initial delay, and from there I'm going to call spawn actor. Now what he has is he has this branch, and the branch is basically saying, okay, do I okay, no, I think that's good. I like this. Okay. So we need to get rid of the. Wait, come on. Yeah. Come on. There you go. Okay, cool. So this initial delay needs to exist, right, for our spawn actor. Because this is the delay that we do for my fire rate. So I'm going to do my initial delay. And then I'm going to branch. I care about all of this crap. This is all looking good. And then when this is done, right? It loops and fails and try to do spawn actor. That's probably not a good idea, but whatever. So we can pull this and then spawn actor. And then we can get rid of this. And then I can throw this here. And then get this a little bit closer. He does the increment, and then I spawn actor. So basically, I'm recalling spawn actor. After this, I need to do spawn actor one more time to do the initial kickoff. So this is my initial kickoff. This is my crap. I don't know what kill actor is, but whatever. And then this is the actual code for the custom event. Okay. Now, I don't have it working here for some reason. If I hit play, it says waiting 3 seconds to spawn. No more enemies will spawn from this spawner. Why? I don't know. I'm over here supposed to be doing art, and I'm not doing art. That's because I like coding. It's fun. Kill actor is for testing kill enemy. Oh, here we go. Hi. Hello. Let me join the other channel real quick. Okay, that way you can hear me and you can talk to me and not have to type. Did you set a max?
mess with stuff. So
Okay, hi. So I cleaned up the code a little bit, or maybe a lot of it. I don't know when you joined, but I'll kind of walk you through it real quick. So event begin play, all I did was I cleaned up how this looks. If you don't know how to, if you double click, you can create what's called a reroute node. And this reroute node,
yeah, that's cool.
which allows you to make it cleaner. And then you can actually do other things to it. The other hotkeys and shortcuts is if you grab two nodes and you press Q, it will automatically line them up. If you grab all these and you press Q, it'll line them up. So for example, if these are all like, and I need them to be lined up, you press Q, it lines them all up. If you do Shift A, that lines them up towards the left. If I do Shift and D, that lines them up to the right. And then Shift W lines them all to the top, and Shift S lines them all to the bottom. So it's just like cleaning up code, because otherwise it does get spaghetti. And then you can kind of see the path. So what you had...
So the reroute thing lets you stop from having that weird loop that I was doing for the repeats, I guess, right?
No. The reroute node just lets you clean things up and organize it. And you could do the loop that you had and have it be weird, but that's kind of technically bad code for what we're doing here. What you want to do is you want to create a custom event and then call the custom event again. So basically, your logic is here. Here's my event, right? And if anytime this is called, anywhere this is called, then it'll run all of this code, right? So basically, if I have my delay here at the beginning, so this is my rate of fire, that's my delay, and then I come here and I figure out, yes, it's true, I do all my code, I spawn, and then after I'm done, I've done my increment, I go back to spawn actor, it automatically goes back to this and does this again. And then if it's false, then whatever. I don't think I should spawn actor off of this one, but anyways, basically that would fail and then send this to a loop here where it's like doing an infinite loop here if it was continually failing for whatever reason. So generally you want to not have pins come into themselves like in a loop like that, because you can create an infinite loop. You technically could do the same thing here, I guess.
I was gonna say this is absolutely the same possibility, because you're doing it in a different way. But yeah, I understand. This looks much better for sure.
Okay, and then so here you were saying I have to set a max.
For now, so if you don't, so go back to your scene, go back to your actual world.
Yeah, I'm here. You've got a delay, so.
Yeah, just a couple seconds. Yeah, so there's a max spawn total. The
Correct.
second item, I don't have it ignoring it if it's 0 right now. There's no thing that says if it's 0, just infinitely spawn yet. Need to add that.
Okay, so right now I'll say 100, but yes, definitely need that. Okay, so then if I hit play, 100%. It should spawn in 3 seconds. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. And now we got some robots. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Awesome. So now we have that working, which is great. And then I can push that so you have all of that crap.
Cool. I'll work on cleaning up a couple other things, like I'll add that infinite spawn for 0, and there was another feature I wanted to add too.
Okay. Yeah, no worries. So the next, let me hit submit. I should not have done what I just did with the ASDF. Whatever. Nobody will judge me other than myself. There was something else I was thinking about for the spawner, but I think that's fine for now. There should be
if you think of it, let me know, because I'll be in there in a few.
There may be a way to, you know what? I think it would be nice to do. Let me do that right now. So, yeah, here's another thing that you can do, by the way. So when you go to this, you can do your description. For the GameJam, it's not super big, but if we're going to be going through later on and just teaching you good practices, this is where you put in your description of whatever it is, right? So spawn rate, how fast the actors will spawn, and then you can do seconds here. You don't need to label it seconds on your actual variable name. It's just spawn rate. Okay. So that way everything is there. And then you can do the same thing for max total spawn. Just put it in the description. And then everything else looks fine. Total spawn, active spawn. Yep, cool. Yeah, everything else looks fine. But what I was going to say is let's say we add a variable and we say is active, or is enabled. And then you can do get this status and then a branch from the, I did not mean to hold down B. Do a branch from there. And then if it's enabled true, then we move on.
That was what, okay. So that was one thing I was going to add was is enabled. I was also going to take out the array of AI. As you mentioned, it added more complexity. I just wanted to see how it would work in the code, but I don't love it. So I'm going to change it to just an integer that tracks how many are currently active.
Okay. Yeah. That, and that's, I get that too. Like I said, it's for what we're doing, not needed. Later on, if you got to pick things out and stuff, yeah. Cool. So basically, this will allow us to encode, disable this, or enable this. I would actually make this instance editable. So this is another thing. Don't forget if you want it to be editable in the editor. So for example, here, you have to make it instance editable.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then you can actually, the another cool thing that you can do for organization, I'm big on organization. You don't have to, but you can create the category and you can make whatever you want for the category. So for example, if instead of seeing it in default, you wanted to see this.
Oh, this organizes it on the right side and gives you those little blocks at the top that you can filter.
Yes. So you could like do this and then put it under turret properties or spawn properties or whatever the heck this is. And then you just change the sort order, I think is what it's called. I don't fucking know. There's another one in here where you can change the actual order of where it shows up, and yeah. Mm-hmm. So, okay, I'll save this and push this over for you. I'm not going to try to take up your more time. I should be doing art. My little booty is over here coding. I like coding when I can.
Yeah, no, that's all good, man. I actually, so having you take the thing that I did and, you know, doing some cleanup on it, giving me those things those are nodes that I didn't know about, so it's all useful.
Yeah, of course. I get it. Okay, I don't want to save that. So
yeah, the straight lines there look much better.
Yeah, that's something that we try to do. When I started working with Mester, he's the coder guy on my major project. He kind of got me in this format. I've seen people successfully do spaghetti madness and craziness, but the real reason why I like the clean stuff is because if you're coming in and you have no effing clue what it is that I've done, it is a nightmare to go through. Whereas if I've organized it and can follow a logical path stream,
100%, yeah.
then, you know, it's just easier for you to learn the code and reference and find things. That's also why commenting, he doesn't comment as much, but that's why, especially if we're going to have, you know, 4 of us coding, it's very important to add those comment boxes in and say kind of what you're trying to do or what should go where and that kind of thing. Sure. All good though. You slept okay?
Oh yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I went to bed at 2 and then I got up at 7. I was like, okay.
You're even worse than me.
Did the little doggies, did everything I needed to do, and good to go. Placeholder player 01. No, I do not want to pull that in. Yeah, I can't. I mean, I guess I can be, yeah. Okay, so I don't want to do that. I don't want to modify your thing. Okay, cool. So it updated it. Perfect. And then I'll get into some AI crap later today, after I've finished up the character.
Sounds good.
Okay, let's get back to doing some actual art. So we found that I like the way that this looks ish. Oh wait, no, that's the wait, what? How did I get back? Oh, because I reopened the project. If I go to the lobby, this is using lobby game mode. If I do this, then my default pawn, character player. Okay, cool. So then if I hit play, I should be this guy. And I am. Hello. Nice. Cool. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Happy with that. Oh, man, and we can do... I'm so excited. I can't wait to get this damn character done. I gotta get this character done so I can do all the cool things. I'm so excited. Coding is what makes it fun. That makes sure all your stuff come alive, you know?
Yep.
Okay, let's see. What? Oh, why am I so confused on that? Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right, that's right. That's what I'm supposed to do. Okay, got it. Something like that. Do the same thing here. There we go. Nice. Okay. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot.
That's looking good.
Yeah, I think it's gonna turn out. I think it's gonna turn out pretty good. Let's grab this one. 90. Put that up here. And link that right there. So that way we can see. Get that as close as we possibly can. This should be 90. Here we go. And then put that in there. Okay. I want this to be beefy. Okay, cool. And we can grab those, weld them together. Let's rotate down. Nice. Perfectos. So let's give ourselves a little bit of room on either side. Grab all that. Okay. And then we need to do a horizontal connector. $90. Do 0. Okay, so this is where we have to kind of play with this a little bit. We want to bring that here. So to bring that joint there, and to bring that up there, we then need to do that. And move all that out here. Yeah, okay, cool. Cool. So now we can go -90. Perfection. And I can make this beefy. Yep. Cool. So now we can rotate this. We can even go backwards, even though it shouldn't, but it could. This can go forward. Nice. And then I save all this. I grab it all. I combine it. Set my pivot point to the middle one. Now, the arm can do full rotations. Heck yeah. And it makes somewhat sense. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, cool. I'm excited. That's good.
Yeah, that's sick, dude.
Yeah, it'll be nice. It'll be nice. Should be able to. I'll just have to make it look pretty. Functional is the first part, and then look pretty after that. Okay. Okay, so we got all that. We're gonna have a similar setup here. What? What? Oh. I was like, wait, what? Okay, so I shouldn't be able to go that way. Here is fine. To be honest, I'm not a fan of that though. Okay, we'll make it look pretty here in a second. Let's see. What if I did something like this? Bring that back. Yeah, okay, cool. I like that. Point 2. Yeah, I want them big, broad shoulders. Point 3. Yeah, there we go. Two 2.1. Yeah. Hmm. 0.15. Yeah. Okay. Good. Good. A nice, good, smooth look on that. Oh, that's why. Did I have something odd selected? Oh, it's all messed up. Damn. Okay. Well, I'll have to fix that later.
Yep.
Let's go out to. Here we go. Okay, so that's good. Let's do 0.3. That's good. Okay. And so for the hand, I'm thinking we do 3 fingers. So I have my thumb, and then I'll have my 2 little other fingers.
Yeah, would it be like thumb middle and then 2 fingers around the outside of the thumb when it closes?
Yeah, I think the thumb closes, and then you'll have like your Vulcan type grip or whatever it is.
Yep, it fits between. Cool.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. There's an end go I'm gonna have to fix. That's okay though. We can fix it later. Just gotta get the shape in for now. Okay, so that's the arm piece that goes there. I need to make the receiver for that. We'll do that in a second. Do 15 is fine. So rotation. There we go. Here we go. Let's do this at 20, 30, at 20. Damn. I mean, it's fine. It doesn't need to be flawless. I think if I could go 30, it's gonna look smoother for sure, but whatever. I might regret that later.
Only you know it's not intentional.
Yeah. Okay. Ow. There we go. 2.2. Make it a much nicer lip. That's the receiver. Wait, what? Oh, well, that would make sense. I guess. Yep. Nice. Oh no. Okay, good. Okay, cool. Nice. Okay. So we're looking good, doing good, no issues. Okay, I'm gonna close the stream only because it's been 2 hours. I need to go grab some stuff. I'll be right back. For those of you watching on the stream, I will stream later. Thanks for being here. I will see you a little bit later.
All right, brother.